Jack Ebling here with Lindsay Huddleston at Breslin Center. Another Press Pass preview. Big win for Michigan State tonight. 79-50. 29-point win and got it up to 36 in the second half.
You wouldn't have thought that by the way things started. It got to be a very close game, down to single
16-2, and then it got down to 3 points.
Right, and then for a second you say, could this be something? But then they did their work and did their business.
11-point game at the half, but then Michigan State blew it open, and it helped that the defense clamped down on Northwestern. Wildcats made 7% of their 3-point shots after the break.
They jumped on them, and then you saw what I saw was a balanced contribution across the board from Michigan State players. I mean, he went through the entire rotation. He got those guys out there, and I think that helped a great deal too.
And Foster Lawyer, 4 for 6 from 3-point range. Been listening to Deshaun Tate. He's the #1 Foster Lawyer fan.
Right.
He had to be happy watching that tonight.
Well, he says is what he says, but no, Foster shot great out there.
A lot of guys made contributions tonight. I mean, coming off the bench. And how about Kyle Arns coming back? And talked to him afterward, and he said his Achilles is fine. Just a little sore, but he'll ice it up. Should be good to go for Saturday. And I think his return surprised some people.
I look at Kyle Arns. I give him the nickname Iron Man. Yeah. He's been through so much. I've been in those practices when you would hear him get injured, and the first thing he'll say through teary eyes that I'll be back. And you see him out there contributing. I don't think people know how much work goes into getting him out there to make those extra plays to have a great contribution to the team.
Pat Spencer had 11 points for Northwestern. No one else more than 8. And it was very hard for Northwestern to score until the last 2 minutes of the game when the lineups changed completely. Looked like they might be in the 30s.
Yeah, right. Talked to Coach Collins after the game, and he talked about the inexperience of his team. No matter how you try to prepare a team to come play a Michigan State team, it's nothing like coming here. And he said the only thing he could have done was bring them here, let them have the experience, and hopefully they can learn and grow from it.
Tom Izzo got a technical foul. Looked like with the whole Julius Marble chin-up deal that he might get tossed.
Right. That would have added a little flair to what was going on here. They got dead for a second.
Yeah. But for Michigan State now, 8-2 at the break. Izzo had said 15-5 would win the league. So 8-2 times 2 is 16-4, exactly what they were a year ago.
Right.
But now it gets tougher. 6 of the last 10 are on the road, and no more real easy challenges.
Right. I remember I should have went with you when you suggested the split would have been a good thing, and now you see the importance of any of those road games you can get, how important that is. You may not be able to run the table, but getting ready for Big Ten play, and this Big Ten league is just really showing a lot of great play all the way around, so you can't really take anyone for granted, and you can't, not pay attention to the end of the schedule.
I still think it's going to come down to Michigan State at Illinois on a Tuesday night, and that's going to decide who wins the league, wins it outright, shares it. It's going to depend on that game. And they're going to stumble. Both teams are going to have a hiccup here and there.
Sure.
Michigan State has to play Maryland twice. So that'll be a challenge. But Illinois has already been to Maryland. Won't have to worry about that.
Right.
And for Michigan State now, moving ahead, teams coming into Breslin, good luck. But when you go on the road in this league, the Spartans were able to flex at Williams Arena. And I think that told us a lot about what this team was capable of doing. I really don't understand it, Lindsay. Michigan State has been upset 3 straight times by unranked Indiana. And they play Minnesota, a better team in most people's minds.
Right.
And they've won the last 3 by 54 points. So is it matchups? Is it psychology? What is it?
No, the word of the day is consistency, and I take that right from Coach Izzo's press conference just recently. He talked about the team not being consistent, and you see that, these ebbs and flows. But I think, again, what we've talked about on this platform and others, that's been something that's been indicative of college basketball right now. A lot may be that you don't have so many veteran-laden teams, unlike a Michigan State, but it's just the consistency up and down. Now, you did have some guys who were sick, who were on the mend, but yet and still, they have to be consistent and constantly do it, and maybe they can be trending upwards to be able to do that for the latter part of this Big Ten schedule.
One other important note tonight, Stephen Izzo got his varsity letter.
Did he really?
Got to play in 10 games.
Yeah.
This was his 10th. and he was counting it down.
I bet.
And when he went by his dad, he made sure he knew.
Wow, that's awesome.
So now he's talking about, he wants that jacket. So.
Yeah, hey, that'd be a great thing to rock on campus. I mean, hey, when Stephen Izzo got pointed to, the whole place came alive. And to have someone on your team that can spark the faithful, can get the players excited because they're all excited for his success, like all the other role players. So that's a great thing when Stephen Izzo can light it up like that.
He can always tell his dad, I have something you don't, a Big Ten varsity letter. Right?
Yeah. Well, his dad's going to take a lot of credit for that, too.
Yeah, a lot to do with it. Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see what happens Saturday at Wisconsin for Michigan State. It's going to be a different Badgers team. Some bad news tonight for Wisconsin. Kobe King, probably Wisconsin's second best player after Nate Reavers, quit the team.
Wow.
And Brad Davidson, who had been a thorn in the side to Michigan State and some other teams, and a shot in the groin in his last game, is suspended by the Big Ten for Saturday's game. So Wisconsin, a depleted team when Michigan State comes in, but sometimes those are the teams everybody rallies together and they give a Herculean effort.
Yeah, absolutely, especially on the road in that arena. They really, at the Kohl Center, they really get fired up in there and the things they do. So you can't take it for granted, but we'll see what happens when they get in there.
And then the following week, a week from Saturday, they're in Ann Arbor, going at it against Michigan, and something tells me that if Isaiah Livers can walk, he'll play in that game.
Right.
And I'm sure that Xavier Simpson will be back by then.
Sure.
Maybe long before that. And so Michigan, not to say it's a season saver, but it would certainly go a long way in securing an NCAA tournament berth.
Absolutely.
They can say not only did we beat Gonzaga by 18, we beat Michigan State.
Yeah, and no matter what Michigan's record is, they're going to be up for that game. The Michigan faithful are going to be out in strong support, and no matter what you're playing like the game before, that's going to be the game everyone's going to be focused on to play their best.
I think what most people are focused on is when you're going to be on the Drive with Jack. And tomorrow that's going to be 4:30.
Yes.
So you'll be on from 4:30 to 5:30. Fans of Lindsay Huddleston.
Oh, man.
Set your alarms. Make sure that you know that that's going to be the case. And then we have a different press pass this week.
Oh, okay.
With the Super Bowl on Fox, we're going to do a morning show.
Oh.
So we're going to kick off 14 hours of coverage.
Rightfully so.
We will be the first thing you see in the morning, 10 o'clock.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then it goes into the pregame of the pregame, and then the pregame, and then the game, and then the postgame, and then the post-game. And then you'll get press pass again in the wee hours of the morning if you're an insomniac.
Right.
Or you want to laugh at our predictions. You can do that too.
Right.
But we're going to actually be on Sunday morning, and we only do that about once every 4 years when Fox has a Super Bowl.
That's okay. That's okay, though. That's great.
Something
morning
different.
And at night.
So maybe we'll get a little bit different audience. And just don't set your DVRs for 11 o'clock on Sunday night because you won't get us.
Won't be there.
So don't do that. But it'd be great to see you tomorrow. We're going to be at Nut House.
Nut House is always fun.
Corner of Michigan and Cedar. Stop by if you want to talk Michigan State, Big Ten basketball. You want to complain about Michigan State football, you can do that. If you want to talk about Kobe Bryant, whatever the case may be, we'll be there from 3 to 6, and you'll be stopping by at 4:30.
Absolutely.
For Lindsay Huddleston, Jack Ebling saying, have a great night, everyone.